Today we're going to discuss a topic that most of us will be familiar with and have probably dabbled with it sometime or other in our lives: resolutions. First question that comes to mind when you think of resolutions is, do resolutions work? A number of us are used to making New Year resolutions. It seems to be a fad. And some of us have given up and say that there's just no point in making resolutions. But then again, the question is, do resolutions work? And if they do not, why is it that they do not work? I came across this slide. I received it on WhatsApp from one of my groups. And it's a very interesting slide. I want to share this with you. Do we have a problem in life? And if we do not, then why worry? And if we do have a problem in life, the next question is, can I do something about it? And if I cannot do something about it, then why worry? And if I can do something about it, again, why worry? Because I should just do it, right? It was a very interesting slide, and the first time I saw it, I said, wow. But then I'm used to reflecting on the information I receive and not just take it for granted. And I thought about it, if this is so facile, so easy, why is there such a lot of worry and anxiety in society? And I do worry. So why is it? What's wrong with this picture? There were two things that came up on deeper reflection. One is this question, the red bubble, can you do something about it? Many times I do not know if I can do something about it. That's the first point. But then, even if I do know I can do something about it, and that's a yes, the next thing which rankles me, which causes worry, is, will I be able to do it? Because knowing how to do something and actually doing it seems to be two different things. A question that I would like to ask is, when do we make resolutions? The most obvious answer is on the eve of the new year. But then if you think a little deeper, I think we make resolutions all the time in everyday life. We don't call them resolutions, but we resolve to change ourselves. It might have to do with our anger. It might have to do with our eating habits. It might have to do with our punctuality. It might have to do with a resolve to do a little bit of exercise or studying before exams. Whatever be it, we are constantly resolving, making resolutions, making a resolve to change ourselves. So, when we make resolutions, when we are resolving to make changes, that means we know what needs to be done. But here's the challenge. The challenge seems to be that we know what to do, but doing it is difficult. There seems to be a big gap between knowing and doing. Why is there this gap? What's the difference between knowing and doing? Now, my idea about the difference is that knowing is easy. It has to do with an understanding at the intellectual level to understand what is it that I need to do in order to rectify the situation. It has to do with intellect, and that is very easy since most of us are intelligent beings. We instinctively do know what to do in most situations, and yet doing is difficult. When I reflected deeper in terms of why doing is difficult, I realized that it takes a lot more to get things done. It requires discipline to actually follow up on the action and execute it. It requires perseverance. If let's say that the resolution and the question is to get up early in the morning, it not only takes discipline to get up in the morning when the alarm bell goes, but to kind of do it day after day after day. It takes a lot of courage. It could be an issue of peer pressure, what my friends, my fellow students, or my colleagues are doing, and what is it that I'm doing. It takes courage. It takes a lot of energy to sustain it. It takes positive attitude and a need to push myself, okay, or to tell myself that yes, I need to get it done. Could mean a lot of sacrifice, because usually bringing about change is about doing what is necessary as against what is easy. Getting up in the morning is difficult because lazing in bed is far more easy. To give up on ice cream, okay, is difficult because eating ice cream is pleasurable. It's usually a question between what is pleasurable and what is good for me. So, bringing about change or working on resolutions is difficult because it means sacrifice, it means courage. And last of all, and the most important ingredient is perhaps willpower. Willpower, as I understand, is really the motive force which translates thought into action. And someone I know gave a very beautiful definition and very easy understanding of willpower. He said, "You, everyone can measure the amount of willpower they have. It's as simple as this: it's the amount of time it takes for you to be consciously awake in bed in the morning to the time it takes for you to get out of bed." And he said, that so you can measure your willpower by how much time it takes for you to get out of bed from the time that you become consciously awake, and it's as simple as that. So, coming back to the difference in knowing and doing, knowing is easy because it remains at the intellectual level. But in order to do something, it takes a lot of qualities. It takes an attitude, okay, and a will to change. And where are these attitudes? Where do these qualities come from? I want you to imagine a tree. When we think of a tree, close our eyes and think of a tree. What we usually see is the trunk, the many branches, the leaves, the fruits, the flowers. That is a visible part of the tree. But then what sustains a tree, what makes a tree what it is, and continue to live are the roots. If you want to grow a tree, make it bigger, you don't work on the tree itself, you work on the roots. Very similarly, I believe in our life as well. It is our inner qualities that really matter and which results in what we become outside in our lives as individuals. What are these inner qualities that I'm talking about? Very simple qualities that we deal with day in, day out. Talking about patience, tolerance, courage, conviction, faith, inner strength, kindness, compassion, mercy. But most of all, love. Because love is that quality which makes us human. About this inner transformation. How do we undertake a journey to bring about inner transformation? Heartfulness is one such path. We call it heartfulness meditation because meditation is nothing but a technique to train the mind. We train the mind to think of one thing continuously, and that builds focus, that builds concentration, it shuts out distraction, and helps us channelize our entire attention to the work or the task that we have at hand. That is about training the mind, and that is meditation. But here we talk about heartfulness meditation because we meditate on the heart. The heart is the seat of human character, and whatever qualities I mention, which characterize a human being, kindness, patience, tolerance, anger, or it could be the negative qualities anger, prejudice, jealousy, greed, and so on, right? What is it that we are inside is determined by the qualities of the heart. And by meditating on the heart, which is what we do in heartfulness meditation, we are able to not only train our mind, but bring about inner change in ourselves to build the positive qualities in our hearts, if for nothing else, just to be better human beings. So this brings us to the